I just got back from my acupuncture appointment. Yes, like sticking needles all throughout my body acupuncture. Now, considering the fact that I've been doing acupuncture and I've been injecting myself every other day, I'm getting pretty comfortable with needles. So I just want to update you on some things that have been going on in my life, some things I've been processing, some things I realized I haven't mentioned via video recently. Oh, by the way, hi, my name is Mandy if you're new. If you're new, hi, great to see ya. Glad you're here. Also, if you're new, it'd probably be good to know that I suffer from, I hate the word suffer from. I can have positive attitude, I can have joy. I have the privilege, I have chronic illness in my life and I'm learning how to deal with it. I'm working towards recovery and I'm documenting all of that process, what I'm learning spiritually, physically, all that stuff. So many of you know that I recently took a trip to the Mayo Clinic and had a fun and interesting experience there. I've got a whole video dedicated to my Mayo Clinic experience. I will link that somewhere, probably in the down bar. I don't know, I'm not very good at that whole linking thing. But I told you guys that I was going back to the Mayo Clinic and I realized I never told you I decided not to go back for what they had me scheduled for. So I was scheduled to go back for just a couple appointments that I really didn't feel like it was worth flying all the way back out to Minnesota just to do these things. A couple of them were actually like classes to help manage symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, those kind of things. And honestly, I don't think that Mayo Clinic is the best place to learn about that. So I'm like, there's probably better things I can do than that. And then also I was gonna do like an endoscopy and that kind of thing. And I'm like, I can have my doctor do that here, which I still haven't done and I don't think I'm really needing to do. So for the time being, I'm not going back to the Mayo Clinic. My doctor, I believe, has been corresponding with the doctors at Mayo and kind of talking about my case, and there's a chance I could be going back if they decide to head in another direction. So there's that. So right now, there's been a whole lot that I've been processing through on a number of levels. There are a lot of potential medical next steps I might be taking. There's a whole lot that I'm thinking about. I'm working with my doctor to process like what's the best next thing to do. For example, I'm gonna see a genetics doctor soon. That's going to happen. I'm really interested to see how that goes because I'm already learning about how my genetics, for example, the MTHFR homozygous mutation, some of you know what that is, how I can specifically target that gene to help my body start to methylate again. There's all these sciencey words that I'm throwing out that I know a lot of you probably won't understand, and I am trying to understand. You would not believe the things you learn when you got a reason to learn them. I'm really curious about toxic mold. I know that mold-related illness is a really big thing, and who knows, there's a chance that I could have mold in my body from back before I got mono, because I did have some health issues, not nearly as significant for mono. So I'm gonna get tested for that. We're working with an environmental specialist, all kinds of things. There's 2 other programs that I'm really looking into that I'm not gonna talk about just yet, but let me just say, like, I have been motivated this whole time to do what I need to do to get better, but I just, like, more so than ever in the last couple weeks, I'm like on it. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna figure this out. There's a whole lot I've been learning about the brain and the limbic system and how, you know, when you have all these CFS related issues, it's probably because your hypothalamus is off, your limbic system isn't functioning properly. So basically my brain, it's like someone tripped a circuit breaker and my brain is like stuck in this place and I need to somehow learn how to like reset, get everything rebooted. So I'm learning about like cognitive therapy and stuff like that, and I honestly don't know exactly what to do. Right now, I want like a really good protocol. I'm working on getting a protocol in place, and once I get that, I will show you guys. So as I've been learning about the brain, the limbic system, retraining your thoughts, all those things, it's very, very interesting, and it's also very biblical if you think about it. In scripture, it talks about taking every thought captive and turning that to God. It talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that's all like health related things, but this is something I want to share that I think could apply to anyone. As I'm learning about the brain and I'm learning about the importance of thought life, this is what I want to share. A lot of times you gotta start talking to yourself more than you're listening to yourself. Think about this. So talking to yourself, that is active, that is intentional, but listening to yourself, that's more passive. Here's what I mean by this. It could be really easy for me to listen to myself and to think, man, I'm really in a lot of pain today. My legs are hurting, my back is hurting, my face is hurting. When am I ever gonna get better? Will I ever get better? How is this gonna affect my life? If I have a family? If I really think about this, I'll probably break down because it's really, really hard and emotional. For you, it could be anything like, oh, I'm just not that smart. I'm not in that great of a shape. If only I was like her. If only I could post Instagrams like that. Like, how are you just so good at posting pictures on Instagram? It's easy to just let those thoughts go by. Without knowing it, you are stuck in this negative, complaining mindset. So instead of just listening to yourself, you've got to talk to yourself. So for me, that's saying, I believed I'm going to be healed. I've got hope. I am thankful because I'm blessed. I have an incredible husband, an amazing family. I have the ability to walk. I've got a home. I've got indoor plumbing. I've got a bed. I mean, you can just go on and on and on. So I'm gonna talk to myself. I totally just realized James has some like neon shorts that have just been sitting here this whole time. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna fall again. I was gonna say I got some new pillows. I've been really working on kind of making things my own here because I've been putting stuff off because I've got low energy. Going back to the main point. Let me ask you, how are you speaking to yourself? Are you just listening? Are you thinking negative, or are you speaking life over yourself? It's crazy how much it can affect your life. It's not just like, oh, I think positively, so everything's butterflies and rainbows. But I'm telling you guys, I'm learning the science, but I really believe that focusing my thoughts on things above and not earthly things, focusing my thought on God's truth and believing that I'm gonna be healed and that I'm gonna be recovered, I believe that will help me heal. It's crazy how all this works. You know, I've been talking about having hope. I'm starting to think that it's a lot harder to recover if you don't have hope. Harder to heal if you're struggling with something health related. It's gonna be harder to accomplish the goals that you want in your life if you don't have that hope. Anywho, Philippians 4:8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Sometimes you gotta talk to yourself more than you listen to yourself. That's what I'm working on right now. It's super humid and rainy and my hair is all frizzy and everything feels sticky. It's okay. So like I said, there's so much that I have been thinking about and processing through. God's been teaching me a lot about prayer too. Maybe I'll make a whole separate video about prayer. But what I want to do today is I want to ask you how I can be praying for you. So if you have anything at all that you would like prayer for, I will pray for every comment specifically by name. Please leave a comment letting me know how I can pray for you. I thought I was gonna vlog more today, but I think I might just leave it at this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya soon. Bye. Bye.